So I went to the university to study electronics and microprocessing. Oddly enough, we had a lot of subjects pertaining to cinema, TV, photography, even 3D animation. Expectedly so, they were all approached from a more pragmatic angle, but luckily for us, we had a lot of guest lecturers from the industry to supplement the science with a fair bit of artistic flair. This is basically how I became a cinematographer, and video production turned out to be a nice symbiosis of science and art. Anyhow, back in 2018, I wrote my master thesis. It contained research and proposed a solution to the fourth axis stabilization for video. But why though? Well, because during my studies, as most students often do, I was working on the side. And most of that work included filming stock videos, low-budget commercials, events. And I filmed these using a cheap 3-axis gimbal. If I remember it correctly, it was called Beholder MS1. After the initial hype, I quickly noticed that there's almost always this up and down wobble bobble that no amount of manual PID tuning could remedy. Back in my day, we used to do PID tuning manually on our gimbals. Of course, this could be fixed by walking with your knees slightly bent, like a ninja, and with a lot of practice. But almost every time there had to be a stabilization pass in post. I quickly became obsessed with capturing that seamless flying motion in camera, and oddly enough, first time I achieved it was with a DJI Mavic Air drone in tripod mode. And I even pitted it against the OG DJI Ronin, yeah, the big guy. After some time spent in MATLAB doing some simulations, I came to the conclusion that it was quite achievable. The only thing that needed to be done is to integrate another axis of stabilization into the current 3-axis gimbal paradigm. Solution I came up with was a variable tension spring integrated at the base of the gimbal, which would adapt to the camera setup weight. Due to the compact design, the amount of dampening in this case would have its limits, but the results would be far better. I presented my thesis, my work was approved, and I passed. Unfortunately, this is where I left it. Now, despite the clickbaity title of the video, DJI did not rip me off. And honestly speaking, my idea was not that groundbreaking. Camera operators have wrestled with this issue for decades, and many different approaches were tried. I merely wanted to integrate it in the classic gimbal design, in an effort to try and avoid multiple tool solutions, such as these. The DJI solution is in many ways more elegant and different than mine. They disconnected the sensor unit from the camera body to lessen the load on the stabilization motors and introduced the fourth axis in a different way than I had in mind. And in the end, I'm really glad that my idea got validated by their design and application. China #1!